Awesome in terms of revolutionizing the system.
You and I have a colleague in this industry named Tim Brando. He wishes for chaos every year. You know, and that would be the ultimate.
UConn finally in positive yardage on the ground. It has taken this long for them to get to 6 rushing yards as of this carry. Wow. That's a team that averaged 217 on the ground coming in.
Speaking of schools and how they're doing, how about Oklahoma? Bob Stoops and the Oklahoma Sooners, the 3 teams they've lost to now are a combined like 26-1. Some amazing number. TCU lost 2, the only loss of the year.
Allen on the carry. TCU kicking themselves. They're in that undefeated group. If they don't lose to SMU, how did that happen? How did that happen?
That's just the proud ponies jumping up, big fella.
The Oklahoma losses to 1-loss TCU, undefeated Texas, and undefeated UCLA.
Right. And I read an article. Bob Stoops says it's a different experience for him this year coaching. And I think Oklahoma's a heck of a situation, man.
Stand-up touchdown here. Lou Allen getting some snaps at tailback, starting fullback, redshirt freshman from Salem, has at last a touchdown on the board for the Huskies. 5:38 remaining. You might think this would be a good chance to practice your 2-point conversions. At Newsy, 23 out of 24 for the year, boots the PAT through, and it's 45-13 for West Virginia, which remains unbeaten and atop the Big East Conference. Play 74 yards in 2 minutes and 48 seconds, and UConn musters an answering scoring drive to make it 45-13. On the return, Lewis still on his feet. And a flag back at the 26-yard line. Another flag thrown out of bounds after the return by Lewis. Rich Rodriguez and his staff coaching as if the halftime score was 0-0 and not 35-3.
No, it's their style. You know, you got to perfect it. And little things that just drive him nuts probably are the stupid holding calls on a return.
Multiple penalties here to sort out for John Smith and his crew. You'd expect holding and a late hit. Block in the back and late hit.
Going to return, illegal block in the back. Number 1, a return team. That will be a 10-yard penalty.
Happens to be exactly right. Sports Center will follow. You're on ESPN2.
After return, hit ball, personal foul, 15 of the kicking team, 15 yards, first down.
John Holmes and Donnell Ford, guilty parties on the offsetting penalties.
I'm with that guy. Why run down there and take all to 10? Okay, now let's go 15 the other way. No, which way did he go? I like it. Guy's thinking.
So after all that, 28-yard line is where they start. And J.R. House, age 25, true freshman from St. Albans, West Virginia, on the give. Jason Colson. J.R. House, you figure there's got to be a story there. How can a true freshman be 25? The story is he spent some time in the Pittsburgh Pirates minor league system, had 4 surgeries. And until this year, his last football was played in December of 1998 in the state championship game, in which he rolled up 594 yards and 10 touchdowns. The team scored 69 points. So with banged up Adam Bednarik watching all night tonight, still nursing a sprained foot from the Louisville game, Pat White and now Holly, J.R. House have shared the quarterbacking duties.
Well, guys, as you could hear from the ovation from the crowd, what's left of them when he came into the game, he's a fan favorite and a player favorite already. J.R. House is just about 25 years old, playing in his first year of college football, but he's already made a big impression on this team. In fact, he was voted as one of 12 people that is part of a leadership group called the Apostles. They're the players that Rich Rodriguez counts on to take matters into their own hands with leadership issues. And J.R. House, already a very popular player despite limited playing time, and here he is in the game tonight to a big ovation.
3rd down and 4. And House with a chance to go through the air, pick up the first down. He'll do it. As again, it's House to Colson. That's got to be worth a big smile.
That's great. You know, that young man has many times walked off a bus in that Pirates organization and thought about, dang, I wish I could throw a ball one more time. Footwork gets it around, completion. That's many nights and wishing I was still doing it.
So 1st down, Mountaineers. Adam Bednarik gets the whole night to nurse that foot. Second cousin of Concrete Charlie, Chuck Bednarik. Jason Colson, one of 3 tailbacks to see action tonight. The prize recruit, a rare blue chip recruit, Jason Gwaltney, true freshman, Long Island record holder, 2,800 yards, 45 touchdowns. New York State record, 437 yards in a single game and 9 touchdowns. But Jason Gwaltney missing 4 weeks with a sprained knee. Another completion. Rayshawn Bolden with his first catch of the season and turns it upfield for bonus yardage before Marvin Taylor finally corrals him. 30 yards.
What a throw. Little timing. This isn't running the score up. I mean, this is just giving another group of players a chance to get on the field and play, you know? And Randy Edsel understands that across the sidelines. And it's kind of funny. This summer I went out to Newport, Rhode Island, the Big East preseason meetings or get-togethers, and there's this big tent. We're all having dinner together, and they're all peaceful and relaxed with each other. All these coaches having a good time with their wives. Of course, next summer, they'll be under that tent, and Edsel will be saying, all right now, Rich, why the heck were you throwing the football 4th quarter?
Back to the ground here, Pernell Williams. First catch of the season for Rayshawn Bolden, so that's why. That's why you're giving guys reps that they have otherwise not been given the opportunity for.
Hey, you need to go to the Big East meetings next year. I mean, they had it at former President Eisenhower's house there in Newport, Rhode Island. You talk about a nice event. Oh, lobster for dinner.
Williams brought down by Ray Fuller. Rich Rodriguez began the year saying, I really have no idea what to expect this year. So many young players, so many key spots occupied by freshmen. He starts 4 on the offensive side of the ball, including his quarterback and tailback. And the story this week for them is going to be the hip pointer suffered by Steve Slayton in the first half. Well, I think he would answer that question now in a completely different manner if you ask him how good can West Virginia be this year. 7-1, 4-0 in the conference in another 2 minutes. They love watching this. J.R. House with the legs inside the 15. A gain of 15.
So House still second base. Right up the middle. Yeah, you're right, man, my friend. He never got hit like that in baseball.
7 years since he's been hit like that. Next Wednesday night, a week from tonight, 7:30 Eastern, here on ESPN2, West Virginia at Cincinnati. They have Pitt left with a backyard brawl and then the rescheduled South Florida game on December 3rd. Chance to close with a 6-game win streak.
71 offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Damian Chrissy Sports Center follows with Steve Levy and Stuart Scott. Looking past the Canes, perhaps. Virginia Tech, Miami coming up Saturday night on ESPN at 7:45. The return of Ron Artest, and is T.O. going to be a no-go this week? All that just moments away. UConn looking at a 3-game losing streak now, and they go to Pitt next, November 12th. Then they have 2 at home, but they're going to be challenges, South Florida and Louisville. So a season that started 4-1, they're really looking at the possibility now, after a 4-1 start, of closing with a 6-game losing streak unless they pull an upset. I think they'll be underdog in all those games except possibly South Florida.
A lot of young players on their team, a lot of in critical positions, and for me, last year they had a lot more leadership. You had a Fincher on defense, emotional. You know, this is a changing year.
They lost 24 seniors off last year's team. They have 8 this year.
And you can see it on the field.
Playing their 3rd quarterback. Colson again carries. It should be the final play tonight. So UConn showing that inexperience. West Virginia triumphs despite its inexperience. Up 35-3 at the half. They coast to a 45-13 win, and Adam Bednarik got to watch the whole thing and rest that sore foot. Mountaineers maintain their hold on top of the Big East. The only unbeaten, 45-13. Again, our final. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So for Craig James, Holly Rowe, our entire ESPN crew, Dave Barnett, don't forget Sports Center coming up next with Steve Levy and Stuart Scott. A convincing Mountaineer performance tonight at Mountaineer Field. Good night from Morgantown Sports.